Today I'll share with you the pros and cons of living in Terrebonne, Quebec. The city of Terrebonne, as we know of today, was the result of a merger of three cities, Terrebonne, La Plaine, and Lachenay in 2001. Today, Terrebonne is the fourth largest city of the Greater Montreal area. And what I really love about Terrebonne is the fact that it has a great balance between urban living and nature. And it's bordered by a river, the river Rivière des Mille Îles in French. Now I'm going to give you a few facts, some stats about the city that are interesting to me, probably interesting to you. I'm going to look at my notes because it's a lot of numbers. So it's the 10th largest city in the province of Quebec, and as I said, the fourth largest in the Greater Montreal area. What's interesting is that in 2019, 38% of its territory was agricultural land. So again, it's a great balance between nature and urban living, as I said before. And what you'll really notice during summertime, you have a lot of bike path, 140 kilometers of bike path. So it's really interesting. It motivates you to go outside and just, take your bike and ride all along the city. Now, what about its citizens? It just surpassed in 2023 122,000 people. It's a really interesting city in the sense that the great majority of people that live in Terrebonne, 71% work outside of Terrebonne, mostly in Laval and Montreal. 9% of people that live on the territory of Terrebonne are immigrants. And I know it because I've been selling houses in Terrebonne in the last couple of years to people from all across the globe. So it's a big trend. And while I'm talking about that, if you have a project of buying or selling a house, my team and I were there to help. Just shoot us an email. Call us. Our information is down below and we'll schedule a Zoom and we'll guide you from A to Z so that you can buy a house in Terrebonne or all the different areas around the Greater Montreal area. Another key fact about Terrebonne is that its average age is 38 years old. And it's probably where you'll find the most amount of young families. So the energy is really great. In terms of the services now, you got 2 university campuses, 1 CEGEP, 5 high school. There's a lot of businesses that are established in Terrebonne. In fact, in 2019, according to the website, there was slightly more than 3,000 businesses in Terrebonne. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Gabriel Laflamme. I've been a realtor since 2009 and I'm really privileged. I'm privileged for a lot of reasons. I have great parents, but in terms of the real estate, I get calls and emails from people just like you every single day on every different social media platform. And I'm there to help. So as I said before, if you have a project, just shoot us an email. We'll guide you. We're there to help. Now let's start with the cons. Bottlenecks. Terrebonne is close to Montreal, close to Laval, but when you take your car and you go to Montreal to work, traffic, a lot of bottlenecks, especially on your way back home at night. So at least you'll know. Ease of access. Terrebonne is a huge territory. Depending on where you live, the ease of access will vary. For instance, if you live in La Plaine, well, the ease of access is not as great as when you live in the core of Terrebonne. You have to drive maybe 15, 20 minutes more. So it's not that La Plaine is a bad neighborhood, it's just that it's further away. The access is not as easy as Terrebonne. Proximity of services, it goes along with the previous con because you have a bunch of services, you have a bunch of different stores, specialized stores, big box stores, and in some areas you have a great variety such as Lachenay and Terrebonne. But in some other areas, for instance, called Terrebonne, a neighborhood of Terrebonne, or Terrebonne West, or La Plaine again, you have not as many services or you have to drive maybe 15, 20 minutes to have access to all the different options in terms of the services and stores as well. Impeded mobility. What I mean by that is that every weekend when I go visit my friends, I'm like, is there a festival in Terrebonne right now? They're like, no. So how come there's so many people on the streets, on the boulevard, at the supermarket, at the store, you go to the park, there's people everywhere. And when I speak to my friends, I got a lot of my friends that live in Terrebonne. They have kids, they go to the parks, they go to the arena, the ice hockey arena. They're like, there's a lot of people, the parking are packed, it's packed. So the mobility inside the city is impeded in the sense that, it's just the consequences of the demographic growth. Infrastructure, it's a con that goes along with the previous one in the sense that the city right now is scratching their head. And they're like, we got economic growth. A lot of businesses are establishing in Terrebonne. A lot of people are moving to Terrebonne. New construction, it's expanding, it's growing, there's more people. But they're like, we don't have enough leisure infrastructure, school infrastructure, road infrastructure, aqueduct. Well, in other words, it's going to be a big challenge for the city in the next couple of years to just plan all those new infrastructure, that are going to come in the couple of years ahead of us. The last but not least, the protection of agricultural land goes along with the infrastructure, the previous one, because The city, they want to protect the agricultural land because it's precious. The green spaces, the agricultural land, excuse me. But the thing is, at the same time, they need to build, as I said, infrastructure. They need to build new housing projects. So they want to protect the agricultural land, but there's a lot of pressure on it. So that's a big challenge for the city and a big challenge for all the different citizens that want to protect their agricultural land. Now the pros, we got a lot of new construction projects. Les Jardins Angora, for instance, Urbanova, projects that are really new or that have like 3, 4, 5 years. It's really almost new or fairly new. So if you want to have a brand new house or a house that was built in like the 2021 or 2022 or 2023, you got a wide array of possibilities. Its geographic position now, it's really well located, close to Laval, as I said, in Montreal. You can, through Lachenay or the Payne Bridge in Laval, access Montreal and then go through the tunnel on the South Shore really easily, when the tunnel is not closed, of course. But you can access Montreal, Laval, and South Shore, and other South Shore, excuse me. Depending on traffic, it's not that, it's fairly easy in other words. Broad range of activities. You got activities like team sports, you got social activities, festivals. You can play all kinds of sports. You got a synthetic soccer field, ice rink where you can go ice skating or play hockey. You got skate park, you got a bunch of, you got everything you need. You got pools. So if you have kids and you live in Terrebonne, your kids will have all the different options in terms of sport and activities. You'll be happy. Vitality. The city, the energy of Terrebonne is great. There's demographic growth. It's a young city, young families. So you feel that energy everywhere you go in Terrebonne. And when you ask people that live in Terrebonne, do you love your city? They're like, yes, we love our city. And on the same economics, on the other side, economically speaking, when you talk to entrepreneurs, they're like, yes, we love our citizen, we love our clientele, we love our businesses, we love being there. So they're proud. There's proud entrepreneurs that are established in Terrebonne, and socially, economically, and just the population itself, everything is booming. So this great energy, great vitality. And as I said, it's a family-oriented city. You really feel that the city is taking great measure, putting money on services so that the families are happy. So if you have kids, if you plan to have kids, your family will be happy in Terrebonne because the employees of the cities, they emphasize on you guys, on the families, on the future family. We want to make them happy, and you'll feel that right away. There's a wide variety of real estate properties for every budget. If you have a smaller budget, you can buy in La Plaine. You want to have more condo options? Well, you go check out Lachenay. You want to buy an older home? There's older homes, newer homes, upscale home. Semi-detached, you got the great variety of different price and alternatives for you. And lastly, you have homogeneous neighborhood. What do I mean by that? In some areas of Laval or Montreal, you got a street where you have duplex, houses, condo on the same street. But in Terrebonne, what I really love personally is you got different neighborhoods where, for instance, you got one neighborhood that was built in the 1980s, one in the 2000s. You got an area with just condos, an area with just semi-detached homes that are new. So it's really, you look around, you're like, every house is like homogeneous. So personally, I like it. I ask a couple of my friends and clients, they love it as well. So this is it, guys, for the pros and cons of living in Terrebonne, Quebec. If you have questions, write in the comments, I'll answer. And if you need help to buy or sell a property in Terrebonne or all the different areas in Quebec, my team and I were there to help. Shoot us an email, call us, we'll schedule a Zoom, and then we'll guide you from A to Z. And if you like this kind of videos, stick around, I got more coming up. Take care.